My name is Bill Wingle. I'm going to continue talking about the Garmin etrex 20X and 30X. In this section, I'm going to talk about how to load a saved GPX track file onto the GPS. For this, I'm assuming that you're working on a Windows computer. If you're not, or even if you are working on a Windows computer, you'll probably have to use Garmin's Basecamp software. I find that a little kludgy sometimes, and I prefer just to treat the Garmin as a jump drive, and I'll show you how to do that. It's actually pretty straightforward. First thing you need to do is on the back of the GPS, there's a little rubber gasket here, and if you open up inside, you will see where you can plug in a USB cable. A USB cable should have come with your GPS, as I recall. I don't recall what type it is, but it has a little connector that happens to fit in the back of the GPS, something like this. It will take about 30 seconds for the GPS to start talking to your computer. It's trying to set up a USB connection. You don't have to have the GPS turned on or anything when you do this. You just go ahead and plug it in, whether it's on or off, and it will set things up. Eventually it's going to come up with the screen will light up a little bit and you'll get a USB logo. And with a little luck, you'll also get a window to pop up on your Windows screen showing you the directory of your GPS, and we'll just wait for that. Okay, when it's all up, you'll have a directory over here that says Garmin etrex and the model number, and you'll have a few directories and files listed. You want to go into the Garmin directory, and in the Garmin directory, you'll see a directory labeled GPX. This can change a little bit by firmware. Sorry for the resolution, but you'll have an archive directory here, a current directory, and then a list of any files that you may have loaded, including your waypoints and other track files. All right, I have a file over on a separate computer screen, and I'm just going to drag and drop it onto the GPS directory. With the latest firmware on some of the newer models, you need to drop it into the archive, and there are ways on the GPS then to say that it's a favorite. I'm not going to get into that at the moment. I'm going to assume that you're working with a little bit older firmware, or that you'll just go ahead and do this using Basecamp. All right, so now we have loaded the map, and it's on our GPS. The next thing to do will be to unplug the USB cable from the back of the Garmin, close up your little flap, and turn on the power to the GPS. I turned it on over here, and this will take about 30 seconds for the GPS to boot up and load. Okay, once the GPS is booted up, you'll be on the home screen, and if you set the GPS up like I have, you can press the back button and toggle over to the Track Manager page. On the Track Manager page, you'll see several things listed. You'll always see the current track and the archive tracks. You'll always see the current tracks and the archive tracks. What we're interested in are the tracks below. The track that I just loaded happened to be named Track. Very exciting, but that's what it is. It was something convenient I had here at the house. We will toggle down to that item, and we will press in on the toggle button and select it. Here you have several options. The first one it says View Map. This is just a preview. If you select it, it's not going to show up on the screen when you're actually outside and you want to start to follow the track. It's just a preview. But we can go ahead and say Preview, make sure that this is really the track that we're interested in looking at, and we can look at it. And it's since I know what it looks like, that is the correct track that we want to use. So we'll go ahead and say, yep, that's it. We'll hit the back button. We'll go back to the main menu page, And you'll see some other items here. And the third one down is one we're really interested in. It says show on map. That implies that the map currently is not being displayed and that we want it to be displayed when we're actually using the GPS and navigation mode. So we will select that. You'll notice that it then changes, the title there changes to hide on map. The implication there is that it's currently being displayed, and the next action that the GPS could do here would be to hide the map. So in theory, the map is currently loaded and being displayed on the map, so we can hit the back button and we can hit the back button again, and then I'm going to just cycle it around until we get back to my map page, and then we can see the track. We can see that the GPS is centered on this, and then I can just walk over to the red line and start following the red line and start following my track and do my ride or my walk for the day following this trail. At the end of the day, after I've finished doing this walk, doing this ride on this trail, I really don't need it displayed anymore. And then I can go turn it off. And it could be that tomorrow I'm going to go do another ride. And so I'll show you how to turn off this track and turn on another track. So we will go to the track manager page again. And so now we'll toggle down to the track which we just loaded. We're going to go down to hide on map, and we'll select it. And now it says show on map, which implies that it's not currently being shown. And then we can back out to the track list. Just to show that it's not being displayed, I'm going to back out all the way, and we're going to toggle to the map page, and you can see that it's no longer being displayed. If we wanted to load another track for another trail to ride tomorrow, we could then go down and pick another trail and say, yes, that's the trail I want to display. We can preview it. I can say, yes, that's the trail I want to ride tomorrow, and then I'll hit the back button, and then we'll toggle down, and I can say show on map. If I happen to be anywhere near where that trail was, I could go out to the map and see the track. Unfortunately, that particular trail is about 300 miles from here, so it's not showing up on this display at the moment. This is a quick intro on how to take a GPS track that you have on your computer, load it on your GPS, and then display that track on your GPS.